Let me introduce you to an anime game. An anime open world game. An anime open world life simulator game. Okay, well, open world and life simulator to an extent. And I may not be introducing you to this, you may have already heard of it. Anime City 3D, also known as Shoujo City 3D, is a 3D version of the creator Shoujo City's 2D mobile game. I'd call Anime City 3D a mobile game since that's the platform I've always played it on, but it's very positive with 200 plus reviews on Steam says otherwise. The release date for Anime City 3D was May 9th, 2018, but the creator describes development of their games as beginning in 2015. Not exactly, but around the time of Yandere Simulator's massive success, which I believe contributed to the small fandom of this game. The creator has stated that the game was inspired by an online MMO named AI Space, a Japanese MMO whose servers shut down in 2011. Looking into AI Space, I'm surprised it's not popular. Its graphics are perfect in my book. The aesthetic is cute and the open world aspect seems so fun to explore. It's very obscure, at least for non-Japanese folks. None of the videos of it on YouTube have even 20k views. A lot of the mechanics in Shoujo City plus the art style are based on this game. And if the YouTube comments I saw are a good representation, remaining AI Space fans see Shoujo City as a spiritual successor. Shoujo City was picked up and had some videos made on it by Bijuu Mike.
Up on me like that. I know you want Pepper Tempura. Go kill yourself. Jump off this balcony.
A creator who had massive Yandere Simulator videos back in the day, but not many other big YouTubers played it, if any others at all. It even has a Yandere Simulator Easter egg. Well, it's pretty obvious. A crane machine where you can get little figures of Yandere Simulator characters. I hate Yandere Simulator. But Shoujo City's creator made the models very, very cute, I can't deny. Anywho, I do believe that a lot of Anime City's fans came from younger kids looking for mobile versions of Yandere Simulator. And I do mean young kids. From what I can tell, Shoujo City fans are mostly kids for the mobile versions. And yes, with everything that has come out about Yandere Dev being a humongous creep, the crane machine stays. I mean, that's probably just because it'd be a pain to remove. The creator doesn't seem to be updating Anime City very much anymore, so I'm sure Anime City's creator doesn't actually want to be associated with that guy, nor defend him. Just to make it clear, I'll go through every way you can play it. There's a few. There's the obvious Android and iOS, but also Steam. All mobile versions are free, but Steam is $10. I didn't learn until later that if you have a Mac or Windows computer, the Shoujo City site has almost all updates and demo versions for free you can play. Shoujo City is very much available to you, so if you feel like playing it, do it. Okay, so onto the gameplay. The main menu is a reference to AI Space. There are two game modes you can choose, story and free. In story mode, you have limited days to befriend a girl, study, pay your rent, and more. You can get an ending if you do it right. In free mode, you can customize a girl who is your roommate, and basically do everything you can do in story mode, but with unlimited days. I'll mostly talk about story mode since it's the most goal-oriented. You spawn in your house, and there are 3 other places you can go. The water park, Akihabara, which I know I butchered, which is the city, school, and a shrine. The shrine, water park, and city are all blocked behind a paywall if you're on mobile. It costs $7, so if you want to fully beat the game by getting all the endings, get ready for that. That only applies to iOS though, since Android users regularly download and play modded versions where you can unlock it for free. What you do each day is determined by your stamina. You only have 20, and almost everything you do requires some. In story mode, you have to study and pay your rent, or you'll be expelled and evicted. You need a minimum of 50 points in school to not get expelled. And in the school is a board which will show you how much you have. Studying or participating in any school activity costs 5 points. Paying your rent shows up on your map. When you spawn at your house and press on the front door, it opens your map, showing everywhere you can go. Along with that is a paper smack dab by the right, which you must pay by Sunday. Also, you can't teleport in this game, so if you gotta get somewhere, you have to walk. Realistic, but slow, considering the run of this game is the speed of a light jog. Each place has something new to do. In the water park, there are rides you can go on with your friend to get friendship points. There's a crane machine with cute plushies for your house, a talking spot to get the maximum of friendship points, and some food stands with unique stuff. The weird thing though is that it's a water park, but you can't buy any swimsuits. You're just swimming and going on water slides fully clothed. Sounds very uncomfortable. In Akihabara, there's some crane machines, a talking spot, a Neko cafe, but there's already one of those in the school area, so really not much. This is based off a real place in Japan, and was also in the game AI Space, which is the main inspiration for adding it. There's a befriendable character here named Elk, I guess. I don't know how to say her name. She's a cat girl who likes to cosplay and is promoting the cafe to no one. There's some free posters, but it's so empty here. I mean, there's some gacha machines, which your character acts strange about, but it's mostly an empty liminal space. It looks like a ghost town. The shrine is nice. There's a bunch of food stands, a pretty pond by a talking spot, and a workable job here. Did I not mention workable jobs? If you need money, you can buy the uniforms and work for 5 stamina. The only job other than sweeping leaves at the shrine is the Neko Cafe, but your pay is determined by how well you do cooking that one. There's also a befriendable character here named Yuki. She is an aspiring Miko, but I don't know what makes her not one. Aside from that, there's some deer you can feed, and some pine cones, shells, and squirrels you can collect for money. Finally, what I'd argue is the main district, the school area. For most players, is probably where you'll spend your most time. 4 befriendable characters reside here, as well as most of the shops. So, you exit from the subway station, and then you can see the school, as well as the shops. The Neko Cafe first, the park, grocery store, which is also a clothes store, and a taiyaki shop, whose stairs lead up to the hair salon. Weirdly, the Neko Cafe and grocery store both have employees, but the hair salon and taiyaki shop do not. This is pretty much where you'll do all your character customization, and there's some talking spots in the school as well as some sports you can do. You can catch squirrels and sell them for money by the school, and you can sell those shells and pine cones at the store for cheap. About the squirrels, they have these weird designs which I just find funny. There's hyper-realistic deers at the shrine, just juxtaposed by these round furry things that don't resemble squirrels in the slightest. I love it. Also, you can put them on your head. They're actually based on these little animals from AI Space, but I'm not actually sure if there's squirrels in that game. And they're a staple of all of the Shoujo City developers' games. Also, just to add, the way you customize your character is that you press on your backpack, then are met with a bunch of squares by your character. This also opens your inventory. They have little icons to show what they're for usually, like a hat or a bracelet, but there's also 2 vacant spots which have no purpose. So let's get on to the characters. There's 7 befriendable characters: Laika, Yuki, Elk, Annette, Kyoko, and Ririka. They all have their own distinct personalities, but the gameplay doesn't let them show it, sadly. I'll talk about it in a second. Laika is my favorite. She's the student council leader. She stays at school all days of the week, while on Sunday most other girls spend their time doing their own thing. She seems like a stand-in teacher. During PE, she stands and watches over everyone. And during normal class, she does too. Her lines when you talk to her are, "I'm watching you," and "behave yourself." Weirdly, the wiki says this:
as the student council president, Laika takes her job very seriously. If she sees someone break the school rules, she will fine them 1,000 yen, put them outside of the school, and scold them.
I couldn't quite figure out what this meant. Uniforms aren't required, so I couldn't figure out what she scolds you for. There doesn't seem to be a sign or anything showing the school rules. Annette is all about sports. Her line is,
I want to become the fastest runner in the world.
She's social and that's pretty much it. Maybe she has more character details on Shoujo City 2D. Kyoko likes to draw. She reminds me of someone. Yes, I do believe she was somewhat based off Tomoko from Watamote. They even have similar personalities, with Kyoko being a loner and having some interesting hobbies. Her lines are ... and Ririka seems to be some kind of chuuni character, a girl who likes to fantasize and live in her daydreams. Unlike the other schoolgirls, she wears a unique costume you can't buy. Her lines are,
once I knew a certain annoying girl who asked too many questions. Now she lives in a pond near my castle. The only sound she can produce is croaking. I can't teleport while my staff is charging, so I have to travel by train like a regular human. Pathetic.
Like Kyoko, people have pointed out that she seems to be based off or inspired by a character named Megumin from Konosuba, but I still haven't watched that show, so I can't give you much insight on that personality-wise. Also, there's this funny thing in her wiki. Which, possibly. When you start the game, you'll fill out a notebook of questions on a train. They determine your skill points, which is the key to getting all girls' endings. You can raise your points on your own by studying or doing things like talking or drawing, but the notebook gives you a boost you almost always need. Each girl will have different skill requirements they need each day. Once you meet those, you can speak with her. You have to juggle getting enough points to talk to her, but also getting enough to max her friendship. Your goal is to get her friendship points to 150 by Monday. If you can do that, you'll get her ending. Almost every single girl's requirements can be met on the first day via the notebook, except the hardest, Annette. Annette isn't special or anything, she's just really sporty, and sport points aren't easy to get. The best way to earn friendship points is by talking with them. That's what the talking spots are for. It costs 10 stamina, but you can get up to, 24 points there, while others give about 2 to 5 each. Each character has a specific personality trait that you need to keep in mind while you talk to them though, or they'll get mad at you. These girls have very high standards. If you disagree with them about basically anything, they hate you. So, If a girl has loner in her personality traits, she won't have social media, she won't trust people easily, she doesn't like to party, etc. These are all questions they'll ask you. When you talk to who you're pursuing, there's a little settings icon where you can examine this and see how many points you have so far. It's basically a cheat code because all girls recycle the same questions, which gets old. Especially Laika, who just straight up quizzes you about Japanese history, and Ririka, who is supposed to be a chuuni but loses all of her silly way of speaking when you converse with her. That's my main gripe since it's the mechanic I spend the most time playing. These questions are burned into my skull at this point. Do you like summer? Do you like winter? No, it's cold and wet. Yeah, I like summer much better. Oh, that sounds boring. Anyway, once you get their ending, they'll give you a gift as an achievement. These will now automatically spawn in your inventory when you start a new game, and are actually interactable. Mostly. I do have my issues with the endings too though. On Monday, you'll spawn at the roof of the school, where they'll each say something special, give you their gift, and then you'll get the same sitting by a fire next to them with the end. I just wish at least the last static shot with the girl would be unique. There's only 7, so I don't think it'd be that hard. It can just be a photo even, but a unique render where, say, Laika, who likes studying, you're at the library with her, or Kyoko, who likes to draw, you're at the art room with her, you know? So that's pretty much all the basics. All things you'd understand within 20 minutes of playing, and it's free on mobile, so you don't need me to explain everything to you. I downloaded this kind of on a whim recently. I wanted to revisit it and actually try story mode out. And while I was doing that, the Shoujo City wiki helped a lot. It has character personality traits, as well as their skill points each day, so I knew what to prepare for. There were some YouTube videos which showed the best options to pick on the train, but I started to notice some weird things. Things that they had, and I did not. One of the changes is the starting pictures. Mine had a Miku-looking girl just standing there, no hearts at all. But some people had this picture. I figured it was an old version, but no. Certain people have this image to this day. I couldn't figure out why only some people have this icon. And another word I'm gonna butcher. Next was the dakimakura, the body pillows. Yes, body pillows. Apparently in free mode, you could pick the option of a body pillow as your roommate. And yes, indeed, you speak to it like it's a person. The wiki even has a thing on it.
It is unknown how the dakimakuras can talk if it is just a pillow. However, it is possible that the protagonist is talking to herself or that she's just imagining dakimakura talk.
I just remember seeing a picture on the wiki of the protag running around with a body pillow, and I was like, huh? Wait, how do I get that? And apparently, it's Akihabara. But the rack where it should be is simply missing, and the option to have it as a roommate is nowhere to be found. Then a bit of a bombshell. A section on the wiki about the kissing minigame? Okay, I'm being dramatic. I wasn't completely in the dark about the fact it was actually a dating game, but some people would have no clue. My version, at least, is scrubbed of all romance completely. But that got me wondering, how do I kiss then? The comments of a video said that you must get your love points to 100. Love points? I only have friendship points. And in their version, all of the talking spots are date spots. And you don't earn friendship, you earn intimacy? Like, goodness me, what else am I missing? In videos I saw, you can practice kissing on this huge unmissable thing in Akihabara with a tomato. But yes, in my version, that is gone. No wonder Akihabara seems so boring in my version. There's nothing to do. Even gacha machines aren't usable there, which is so annoying because I love little collectible trinkets for my house. So I wanted to start figuring this out. Why did I not have these, but videos from so recent did? I started to notice a theme, iOS. Maybe I saw it blatantly in a comment, or maybe somebody was just asking if it's available on iOS. But every video where they're on Android, they can even kiss their darn body pillow. So what's up with that? Well, it does seem that the App Store is much stricter than the Google Play Store. And after a while of digging, I even found this confirmation. So, iOS removed kissing. Why? Not sure. But one thing's for sure, it wasn't intended to be a friendship simulator. If you take a peek at the official Shoujo City channel, yeah, it's apparent. So what? All of this is just on Android? Well, yes, and Steam if you care. In fact, you may have realized even that the name of the game has changed. Anime City for iOS and Shoujo City for Android and Steam. Shoujo means young girl, like how shonen means young man. Bishoujo essentially means pretty or beautiful girl, and it's kind of a trope or art style in Japan. Why does that matter? Well, note the word yuri. That's a very specific niche. That is to say, while it technically is, it's not an anime city. It's a yuri shoujo girls kissing anime city. And to be fair with you, I don't find the word shoujo offensive, nor do I find the word yuri necessarily inappropriate. I later found out the App Store had forced the dev to remove these words and all mention of them, lest his app be banned. and apparently the game was a few times. I just wanted to make it clear that I did find that an overstep and tyrannical of the App Store, and there's definitely inappropriate aspects of this game, but those words aren't one of them. So this game is made by a person, man, who seems to enjoy the trope of Yuri, two anime girls together. You can form your own opinion on that, and setting aside that can of beans, I felt like I needed to see all these features through. I'd spent the past few days playing, no joke, 20 plus hours of this game on iOS. I had almost gotten all endings and had just bought the premium card, and now was being told that my version was stripped of its original purpose? I needed to play it. But I don't have an Android device, so I got an Android emulator, which is illegal. Oh no, which is legal. Don't arrest me. Guys, it's legal, I googled it. Okay, firstly, I wanted to try the modded versions. I felt like of all people, I just bought the premium card, so I'm essentially restoring purchases, playing them for free on Android. I think. But yes, everything was confirmed to me. The kissing machine in Akihabara, the body pillows, the love points, intimacy, and date spots. There's even a rule board in front of the school that wasn't there before. Wait, what? So, no kissing in school, but also no removing your pants or skirt? Even in this version, that isn't possible. If you try to drag your pants away, it snaps right back. And I mean, yeah, I did notice that your character has this random striped underwear texture, and I did find it strange that they textured it and whatnot if it's not meant to be seen. But this is a whole nother level. I can definitely see why running around in your underwear was removed for Google Play as well as iOS. But does that mean past versions had it? And if it did you just buy them at the shop with the other clothes? Now I still have questions. Well, the nice thing about Android is you can pick out and download whatever version of the game you want. So, I scrolled to the bottom, and firstly, there's some superficial differences to the game I found interesting. The main screen is different, and so is the character customization. There's no story mode, and you can't customize your roommate. Body pillows are still there, but there's only 2 sleeves. Also, for some reason, I thought all of the different places other than home and school were added gradually. But the shrine and water park were there since release, it seems. The whole layout for the school district is different. There's 2 stores now instead of 1. Okay, but I need to know. Forget all that. Let's see. And in fact, if you click on your backpack, those 2 previously vacant spots fill with 2 pieces of clothing. Underwear and a tank top. Yeah, a tank top. I expected a bra, but maybe that was too much. But it kind of made me sad that it's removed in the mobile versions because the tank top is actually really cute. So now that it is confirmed, I figure I'd wander around the school district and see the sights. Now the closest shop to you when you enter is a clothes store, and its outside is lined with gacha machines. Strange, I guess it's a nice prop. Even on Android, the gacha machines don't work. And when I tell you, I was shocked. The reason your character acts so suspicious about them is because they did used to have a purpose. That's where you'd buy your underwear. Shock. Yes, I know. Okay, maybe you don't care, but for some reason that was insane to me. I thought before the gacha machines were a stand-in for a future update, but no, it had a purpose and was removed. I started to think that maybe the game was more finished than I first thought. There aren't any other students but Laika, stomping authoritatively around the school in circles, waiting for you to break a rule so she can find you. To be honest, on my first play of it, I didn't want to take my pants off to test her getting mad, so I just took notice of her old haircut and her new name. Her name used to be Laika Kaoru, but I guess giving each character a last name got old, so he removed it. So interesting. I came to the clothes shop and realized pretty much all of the clothes in the new versions were here too. I thought clothes were gradually added as well, but it seemed if they were, it was a minimal amount. I came to school uniform section and again, there laid a swimsuit. Are you kidding me? This whole time I thought it was some game plot hole, but no. There used to be swimsuits, but they too were removed. Upon further inspection, they go where your tank top would go, so I suppose with the removal of undergarments, so went the swimsuit. The water park and shrine were also different, so I spent some time enjoying my swimsuit and slowly swimming around. Very fun. Also, since it was early and I guess the game didn't have any food options, my roommate asked for things like water and milk. I like that opposed to my new roommate, who asks you for expensive things behind a paywall and gets mad at you when you offer her anything else. Old roommate was so much less demanding. I prefer her.
Thanks.
Then came one of the absolute weirdest things to me. The taiyaki stand? It had an employee. Why even remove that? I remember even years ago when I first picked up this game, I thought it was weird that the other stores have employees, but no. No, not the taiyaki stand with a clear stove on. Someone's trying to burn this building down. Well, there is indeed an answer to that too. I got the demo version for Mac OS and saw this. Yes, at some point the real employee was swapped out for a body pillow, and that's why iOS just has no employee at all. Someone tried to be sneaky and put their body pillow to cover their shift, but no, I see through your deceit. And I do believe the store is still at risk of burning down. There's some other fun differences, like how you can still catch squirrels, but you sell them at the store instead of the school. And so, that's pretty much the differences. I mostly tried out the kissing mechanic in this version of the game, and noticed some things. When you go on a date, I noticed there's some new personality trait they may have. My roommate had tomboy. It seemed to translate to a question along the lines of, what dress should I wear to the dance? And you can either suggest a fancy dress with makeup, or a casual one without makeup. And she got mad at me when I said a fancy dress, so tomboy's like casual. That didn't ruin the talk though. She got a bunch of hearts and wanted to smooch. I didn't know how to, so I just clicked on her and she said, not here. It's embarrassing. So I just kind of walked off and she got mad and called me a baka. It made me lose points. So that's a thing. This is in the new versions too, but you can also get called a baka if you smack them with a tennis racket or a bubble wand. Also, to add as a fun fact, apparently the Neko Cafe only became workable once Akihabara was added, so I guess that's why there's two. Now that I got all of the changes and differences out of the way, I want to talk about the minigames. Okay, so the minigames are usually sports or kissing related. For example, on PE day, you can participate in running. You have to click the two buttons really quickly, and that makes your girl speed up. You gain a few sports points from this. It's probably the easiest minigame to do, and the easiest to understand. Second is baseball. It took me a while to get the hang of this, but it's pretty easy after a while. You need a partner, and once you get one, like your roommate, body pillow, or a friend from school you are pursuing, they'll throw a ball at you and you have to smack it. It's pretty easy to hit it if you're in the right place, and it's pretty lenient like on how you can click it to hit it, so it's not bad. You usually get to stand still and just smack it when it gets close. Third, tennis. It's essentially the same as baseball, except you kinda have to run around. There's not much else to say other than that I kept losing. Fourth are the Bubblegum VR minigames. They're based on a minigame from AI Space. It took me forever to understand it, but basically you have to buy a water gun, VR ticket, VR glasses, and then fill your water gun at a place you can obtain water. Unlike how the game prompts you with, you don't have a ticket when you try to start, it never tells you your water gun has no charge. So you may start the game with no charge, fail, and have no clue why. Anyway, when your gun is full, you must shoot the portals and the enemies to get prize boxes. Fifth, working as a Miko at the shrine. My small brain made me think it was a confusing minigame, but I realized the prompt to sweep isn't a button. You must physically press on the leaf with your finger when it's closed. When you learn that, it's an easy game. Sixth, working at the Neko Cafe. It's easy or hard depending on how well you do under pressure and how well you remember the recipes. After a while, it was a very easy minigame for me because I memorized the recipes. You have a recipe book which shows you the ingredients and how to cook the dishes, a cooking stove, infinite produce, and a customer coming in and ordering. You have limited time to get their dish and serve it to them. They'll get mad at you if you serve them the wrong dish or take too long. So it's like most cooking minigames. Seventh, hide and seek. You count to 10 and your partner hides. I tried it like 3 times and I couldn't for the life of me find her. So I would not recommend. Most likely you'll just lose points. Eighth, piano. You can earn music points and also friendship, intimacy points, depending on if you're with a girl or not. It's basically a rhythm game. You hit the notes when they fall. If you're with a girl and she has piano as an interest, she'll boost your score. And if she doesn't, she will suck. Ninth, the studying mechanic. On Mondays and Thursdays, you're given a math test. It's 20 questions and, it's what it sounds like. You're given a score after on how well you did, and that contributes to your grade. 10th, the other studying mechanic. On Tuesdays and Fridays, it's a kanji test. Yeah, Japanese kanji. This is really irritating and hard for a lot of players because they don't know a lick of Japanese. I've been learning Japanese since 2020 and I still have to Google most of the kanji on the test. Kanji is not easy at all. It makes you wonder why they didn't do a more inclusive test? 11th, kissing, finally. It's actually weirdly hard, and I guess that's why you get to practice with a tomato in Akihabara. It's all about these falling hearts. First it wants you to collect all of them, and then it will have a weird rule like, only catch a different color, which means don't catch the heart if it's falling under the same color, or only catch if the same color, which is vice versa. Only catch yellow and pink, etc. It's honestly really stressful. There's also a Pocky minigame, but it works the exact same. Okay, so now I want to talk about the events. There weren't many, and they were mostly just updates. Christmas and Halloween to be exact, and they each had their own little deal. This only lasted about a year with 2 Halloween updates and 1 Christmas. For the 2017 Halloween one, the street is decorated in red lanterns and it's night. Shoujo City 3D doesn't have a day-night cycle, and this is the only time you can play the game during nighttime. The shops are decorated with stickers and Halloween decorations. You get light-up cat ears and bracelets. Things like pumpkins and Halloween decorations for your house were added and kept in the game, but the light-up stuff wasn't since there's no nighttime. To be honest, I think they're just cute and don't need to light up, so it's kinda sad they're gone. I was able to play the PC demo for this one, and it's definitely the earliest stage I've ever played Shoujo City. The gacha machines even had a different use. Instead of underwear, they had cat ears and tails, so the shops were limited in clothing. And since it's luck-based, I couldn't get my beloved Android cat ears. A few of the shops are closed and under construction. Also, since the demo versions only have the school in your house, I couldn't see what the shrine and the water park look like at night, sadly. I'm not 100% sure if they were actually added this early though. In the 2017 Christmas update, things like hats were added, as well as Christmas decorations for your house. Just like the Halloween event, the shops have stickers and Christmas/winter decorations. It was also snowing, which I found super cute, and again, a little side was removed. Now for my absolute favorite event, the 2018 Halloween one. So, I just recently finished Silent Hill 2, and right after, I found a video on the official Shoujo City YouTube channel showcasing the event. You click on this pumpkin icon in front of the gates, and so it begins. You're spawned in the now empty, dark Neko Cafe, and in front of you lies a cutesy pink gun. It's the same water/bubble gun from that confusing minigame, and it only has 10 charge. That essentially means you can only shoot it 10 times. You notice in the right hand corner, it says 5 HP. Scary. You make your way out of the Neko Cafe, met with the once cute city covered in billowing fog, so thick you can hardly see what's just a few feet in front of you. And through the fog, an evil squirrel bites your ankle and steals away an HP from you. The YouTube video is just a trailer and says it won't show much so it won't spoil you. I skimmed the comments. Shoujo City's creator responds to people. They say that this is the last event, since it took a month of coding just for something that's going to be removed. He also says that a full walkthrough of this event would take about 10 minutes, and it has a full ending. You can imagine how I felt about this. I needed to play it. So of course, the first thing I did was look for said walkthrough, but I couldn't find one online to my heartbreak. When I looked, I saw there was a file to the Android update, so I downloaded and played it. But due to me using an emulator, trying to navigate a touchscreen with a mouse is just terrible. The jank and lag made it impossible to do, so I gave up for the time being. I later found the free demo version through the Shoujo City website, and while the controls made it infinitely less janky, the squirrels are merciless and I still couldn't beat it. I'm thinking of trying to find anyone who's up for it, but also I might just keep trying to do it on my own. I also thought it might be funny to mention, before I knew I could play this update, I only saw the trailer. My first instinct was to edit Silent Hill sound effects over it. And funnily enough, on the PC version, I could fully hear that it actually does have Silent Hill adjacent sound effects. But speaking of the Halloween event, I decided to see if anyone had any tips, I couldn't find where the school key was and was getting bodied 1 minute in. I found the official Shoujo City website and the update log for it. Scrolling to the comments, I found a confirmation for the body build. Wait, hold on, why'd they name themselves like? Okay, so this bit will be about Shoujo City 2D, or just Shoujo City. I only played a little bit of this to get the gist, but there are reoccurring characters. Shoujo City 3D is a 3D version of this game after all. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of 2D pixel art games to play myself. I don't mind watching people play games like Undertale or other pixel games, but for some reason it's not my cup of tea. No real reason. But man, the art design and shops of everything in Shoujo City 2D are lovely. Unlike the 3D counterpart, there's a night cycle, and I love it. Little moths surrounding the lamps add to the scenery, and even occasional fireflies. It was a bit more of a cohesive and filled-in world. I adore Shoujo City 3D's world, but this is so homey. When I went into the Neko Cafe, I could just imagine the smell of coffee beans and pastries filling the air. The art is great and sucked me in quickly. I'd love to visit a street like this in real life. It's so cute, and to see the little squirrels running around, the vending machines, the Neko Cafe, and Taiyaki Shop's first appearance in this little Shoujo City universe is great. Also, in this game, you can actually choose your protag to be male. There's no such thing as a male in Shoujo City 3D, so for some reason, it shocked me. And now onto the characters. There's Laika, Yumi, Annette, and Sayori. I believe that's all, but I'm not 100% sure. The 2D wiki is mixed in with 3D, so it might get a little muddy. I'll only really talk about the characters who show up in Shoujo City 3D. Interestingly, Sayori looks like our all-too-infamous girl from an all-too-infamous game. According to the wiki, speaking to her will start a yandere route in motion. Okay, I'm not gonna pretend it's a coincidence. The wiki even says it full stop, based on I Know Aishi from Yandere Simulator. Who could have guessed? It seems Shoujo City's creator has a lot of respect for yandere dev. Seriously wonder how that's holding up. Of all characters, I was kind of surprised to see Annette was a character that was brought back from the original. She has the same pigtails, but her hair is more of a reddish color than brown, and she has these big pom-poms in her hair. According to the wiki, she doesn't seem to have been into sports at all. She liked video games, and the wiki wrote this funny line. Maybe she shares that with the new Annette. Laika is the only other girl brought back from the original Shoujo City. She's blonde hair and wears a bow in her hair. She seems to share some interests like wanting to learn French and liking astronomy and theater, sort of technical stuff. The wiki also describes her as being possibly the game's mascot, since she is the profile picture of the creator, as well as the icon of the 2D game. Putting that all aside, that was the old game, one that came out like 8 years ago. Even Shoujo City 3D is old now, and looking at anything the creator is doing now would immediately introduce you to the new game he's working on. It's unnamed at the moment, but similar to all the old ones. An anime life sim game. You cook, you do sports, you talk to people, you put squirrels on your head. I'm not gonna lie to you, the textures in this one are perfect. The lighting and world look so full of life, and I can't wait to explore it. In this game, there will be a night cycle, and it looks great. The light that emanates from the vending machines, the lamps, there's something about it that I just love. Also, male characters are added. You can be a male and talk to males, so whoever was turned off by the fact there's only girls in Shoujo City, maybe this game's for you. The creator has stated that any major updates that would have been in Shoujo City 3D are now going to be in this new game. No character will be returning from Shoujo City 2D or 3D, and he talks about how he feels the characters lack depth and personality, and the issues about the maps in Shoujo City 3D. It's nice to know these issues are being solved and recognized by the dev, just not in, the old games. Anyway, this game isn't out yet and probably won't be for months. The creator has said on their Twitter that it's about 50% complete though, so add it to your Steam wishlist if you're excited. The Steam version is gonna cost money, and after it's released, the dev said they'll work on a free mobile port, if you was wondering. One thing I found really disappointing though is that a few, maybe even all of the posters in the convenience store are AI art. The dev refused to add many things because he said he needed permission or a license, such as Doki Doki Literature Club, Hatsune Miku, Starbucks, and Hello Kitty Easter eggs. And yes, if you're wondering, that does mean he spoke to Yandere dev one-on-one and got his official permission for the claw machine. Considering AI art is just a mishmash of stolen art, it seems hypocritical and unfair he used it, especially considering he is an artist himself and probably could have just drawn it himself. Not to mention he could have commissioned an artist, and many artists would probably have provided him with free art considering his game is quite polished. It just made me feel disappointed. And speaking of, it's time to talk about the creator. From what I can tell on the wiki and their Twitter, the creator of Shoujo City has done all of the 3D modeling, texturing, writing, coding, etc. I was surprised to find out that most of the art in the original Shoujo City is made by the dev, even the first 2 body pillows that exist. They're artistically inclined to say the least, and I can definitely respect all the 3D modeling work. It's no easy feat. Besides that, I noticed a few strange things. So remember how one of the studying mechanics is kanji? That made me wonder if the creator is actually Japanese. Not because Japanese is so hard you must be Japanese to know all of the kanji, but because unlike Yandere dev, they actually seem to have a grasp on Japanese culture. All of the writing on the shops, and from what I can see the food, pretty much everything is spelled correctly and not Google Translate. Trust me, when you know even the bare minimum of Japanese, Google Translate sticks out like a sore thumb. Their characters say things that would make sense in a Japanese setting, and they ask you about Japanese history, not American or any other place. Their Twitter location clearly says Japan. I began to wonder if it was a Japanese guy making this. I went on Reddit looking to see if there was a subreddit for this game. There is not. I wanted to see if anyone with an Android device was up to getting the Halloween ending for me, but I just found the official Shoujo City Reddit account. They had a few pictures like this, recreating scenes from an anime they like. And if you notice, these outfits are actually in the game currently, so that's where the ideas came from, I guess. Shoujo City 3D will have lots of cosplay outfits, the dev says, and that's true. A lot of clothes options come from anime, even my favorite headpiece are the ears from Chobits, if you didn't notice already. So it should be obvious. This person likes anime. Duh. It's called Anime City. A lot of Japanese people like anime, so what's the problem? Well, I started to notice posts like this.
Standing with buckets is a punishment. It was commonly used in Japanese schools until recently. I think LGBT flags are part of US Europe culture, not Japanese culture. Don't remember ever seeing a single anime where LGBT flags would be featured. So I have some reservations. We'll think about it.
Do you see the pattern? Their source for Japanese cultural things is anime. It just kinda threw me off. Why is that your main source? I'm not Japanese, but I know certain things like dyed hair and short skirts aren't allowed in real Japanese schools, but animes usually ignore that. Just seemed odd. So I scrolled more through the official Shoujo City site. I found this confirmation of features being censored on iOS as well as
I've been playing Shoujo City since it came out, and I really love it. I think you do a good job with the game, by the way. Are you from Japan? Because you're really good at computer design, especially with anime styles. By the way, will Shoujo City on the iOS have all old things from 2018, like the underwear and stuff? Because I thought that was like one of my favorite things too, and the body pillows as well.
Some features in iOS were censored on the request of the App Store. There is nothing I can do about it. Sorry. I'm from Russia.
He's Russian! And apparently the kanji were all copy and pasted. Oh me, oh my. Yes, it's very surprising to me. I had begun to think this whole time they're not really a weeb, just showcasing their culture. No, they're not. And I mean, is that really that bad? They posted this in April, and I mean, good for them. They went to Japan, visited the same types of shrines they model, and I'm sure had a great time doing it. That's kinda nice, you know? It's not like it's an issue to be a weeb. I wouldn't really go around describing myself as one, but I am too. I love anime. I have since I was a kid, and that's exactly why Shoujo City 3D made me so happy. To explore a little anime world, to pay your rent, keep on top of your hunger, it's what I love. It's a world I need to be transported to once in a while. You can't degrade their game-making ability by the things they enjoy in their free time, or the questionable things they added. You must take from a game what you enjoy, and if you have to, separate the art from the artist. Yeah, I know I'm bringing it up again, but that's why I don't dislike people who still play and enjoy the style and gameplay of Yandere Simulator. This is some people's childhood. It's my childhood. I stayed up late watching Bijuu Mike videos, Cub Scouts videos, Yandere Sim parody, and original songs while I was still in the early grades of elementary school. And while I'll never look at it with the same innocence, while I'll never look at it with the same love again, I can't be mad at people who do. But on the other hand, I know I can't be angry at people who dislike people who stick with Yandere Simulator. The creator admitted to his horrible actions, and even before that the game was definitely creepy to say the least. And what are games if not the brainchild of the creator? It's easy to say you're separating the art from the artist, but you only say that when you know you're just ashamed of liking something a bad person made. You can play it and try to derive the same enjoyment, but the bittersweetness of seeing the features that blatantly show the creator's personhood won't go away. While Shoujo City was still in development, the creator was using the girls he modeled as little toys to reenact things he liked. You come to wonder how many other scenes he reenacted, if any, that he just didn't post. At the very start of the game, you can choose your height by pressing on little saplings, little buds, a representation of prematurity and youth. When I say youth, you know what I mean. I spent hours playing this game over the course of just a week or so, and by now I can feel the bittersweetness seeping in. I look at the body pillow covers they drew, at the tiny skirts, I think about how he sat in a chair and drew all of the textures for the underwear, and I wince. I won't tell you how to feel, of course, and I'm not trying to. This may be nothing but the average internet dweller to you anyway. I'm not accusing the creator of anything, I'm just telling you what I found. But now, it's time to finally show you the one thing he said that really blew me away.
I private the Yandere Sim video. Not because I think that I said something wrong or anything, but just this entire situation has just made me feel sick, and I just don't even feel good about having a video on my channel talking about the situation that happened, given how serious it is. I just want to make videos that people will enjoy, and that I enjoy making, and I did not enjoy making that video at all. I wanted to just let you guys know that I was quitting the game because of Yandere Dev's latest post, and that I can no longer support the game anymore given the things that have happened, nor do I condone any of those actions. I don't know everything about it, but I think it's better to just leave it at this. As stated in the video, I will leave the old videos up because I have too many of them, and I know that many of you enjoy them as well as the countless hours of editing and memorable moments I've had with the game. Pretty much all the comments were supportive of my decision, and I really thank you for that and all your continued support and understanding.
Bijuu Mike, before dumping on Yandere Dev, maybe you should try to remember what game brought you all your subs, popularity, and money. Without jumping on Yansim hype bandwagon, you would be no-name nobody on YouTube right now. Kanji, new kanji for you to learn.
Make of that what you will. After I finished gathering most of the information, I found many of the update logs while he was in the middle of his game being censored. I found the main post where he describes all of the changes to iOS he was forced to make. Things like crawling, which I didn't even know was a feature, he talks about having to remove, as well as the confirmation for the underwear, the swimsuits, the kissing, and he even talks about how he had to change the age rating to 17+.
After almost 2 months of reviews and rejections, the App Store finally allowed to update the iOS version of Shoujo City 3D in order to comply with numerous requests for content removal of the store. Some content of the game had to be removed and changed. 2 equipment slots for underwear, and all underwear, including swimsuits, formerly sold in the game are removed. Shirt and skirt equipment slots are locked, so clothes in these slots now can only be swapped with other items, but not removed. Crawling feature is removed. The game was renamed from Shoujo City 3D to Anime City 3D. The game now has 17+ rating on the App Store, but even with that rating, you'll have to ride water slides fully closed, since girls wearing swimsuits at a water park was considered too offensive and objectionable, apparently. Oh well, at least they didn't force to dress all girls in the non-removable burqa or something. Maybe that will be their next request though. All these changes, apart from the title, were also introduced to Android version of the game. I'm not really happy with these changes, but I didn't have any choice actually.
I asked him some questions in a YouTube comment, and he confirmed some things to me that I wanted to know.
I'm male. Like it doesn't represent me in any way. I just had trouble coming with any original name, so I used whatever random handle. Now I usually sign my emails as Shoujo City Developer. All those character names like Laika, Freya, Elk, etc. were absolutely random and grabbed many years ago from some random online name generator. With old European Nordic flavor, I think. That wasn't a proper way to design characters, of course. Now, in retrospective, I understand that all characters from both SC, 2D or 3D lack distinct visuals and personality. That's why in the new game all characters will be designed from scratch and without any connection to previous games. In 3C, 3D, and the new game I use a few generic paid assets, e.g. for water, or sky, or clouds, but almost everything else, including all characters and clothes, was designed and textured by me. I make posts on Twitter every few days showing almost everything I'm currently working on.
Yes, of course, he is a man. And now I have to say that I'm coming in later, which you might be able to tell by the audio quality, to change the last part of my script. I really wanted this video to have a positive outcome. I really wanted to say that you should still support this guy, and that I won't tell you my opinion on small things he's done. But I in good conscience can't and won't say that anymore. The quote-unquote small things really add up, and I don't understand why I should give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to believe people are inherently good, and just don't do creepy things on purpose. But that isn't true, never was, and never will be. Take the saplings. Instead of choosing your height, you choose how young you are. It makes you wonder, what are these saplings supposed to be? A tree? A flower? If either of those, they aren't even close to being fully grown. When you go to the store, you can clearly see that you can dress yourself or your partner in a hat meant for children in preschool. Do you not wonder why? He calls it a yellow safety hat. I guess that's what he meant by anyone familiar with Japanese culture will recognize this. It's true, yeah. It's a hat for preschoolers and kindergarteners. Anyone who's even watched anime will know that. That's your little Easter egg you don't want to say out loud, that you leave to people with an understanding of Japanese culture to understand? The fact it's for borderline babies? Google the Japanese he put. You'll only, and I mean only, see children wearing it. Underwear, which still exists in the Steam version, has patterns that look like they're for elementary schoolers. Why did he texture them that way, you ask yourself. I didn't add this in the video really because it makes me uncomfortable. But a huge part of the conversation mechanic has girls asking you how you feel about their bodies. Even in iOS, that is still there. You ask yourself why in the world a dev making a schoolgirl simulator added that. I saw a tweet, ironically a response to Bijuu Mike, announcing how it is now a friendship simulator due to censorship, and Mike asked why. The dev gave an explanation. I'll read this for you as to not bother the nice voice actors anymore. Bijuu Mike: why? That's pretty stupid they made you do that. Shoujo City Developer: according to them, any romance involving schoolgirls under 18 years old equals ban, even if it's just kissing and holding hands. I spent months appealing but never got a reply why the store sells hundreds of other romantic visual novels with anime schoolgirls, but my game was singled out and banned. I never saw him mention this anywhere else. He made it seem like the App Store banned his game and never told him why. The App Store seemed to have explicitly told him it was because of their age. In Japan, it's very common for most animes to take place in a school, even in America and lots of other countries. You begin to see these adult actors or grown-up characters, and maybe, heavy on maybe, forget that school implies children. But this dev, you can tell, had been embracing the fact they were minors the whole time. He was fighting to let his little girl simulator be uncensored. How does that make you feel? Scroll through his likes, and what will you see? He clearly liked lolly art on his main dev account. Fully lolly art, who me, not at all fluent in Japanese, can read that it clearly says lolly on this suggestive art. Do you understand now? You can still buy games from him if you want, I'm not stopping you. And by absolutely no means do I condone you going and harassing him. If you want to complain and share how this makes you feel, do it here. But I'm not going to hide this from you, and I'm not going to hide that I find this disgusting. Thank you for watching, and I hope you find this interesting.